Hey guys, I kind of like it in the dark, in this shadow. You can't see, uh, I have like a natural filter. So I'm going to use this lighting. I'm very good at lighting, at finding the right lighting in the house that makes me look uh, a little less my age. So that's always nice, or my flaws, right? So let's focus on the positive. And I feel compelled to say the good things about Lionel so that, just for myself personally processing, I don't know, it's never ending. I don't think the relationship is going to end, the situationship. But I want to say that because when I listened to my last thing, I didn't really say, I mean, he'd been just out of the blue dissing me in very harsh ways. And it was kind of shocking. Although I am used to the pattern now, of course. So it's not, it wasn't as surprising as it would have been had we been great friends all this time and it's just been smooth sailing. It's just been, an absolute psychological and emotional, twisted nightmare in many ways. But the fun part has been he makes me laugh really, really hard. I'm capable of having a really big laughgasm with him, which is a very rare and special thing, and not everybody I don't have that with everybody. That level of laughing that hard, that's very special and unique. So that's one thing. And I have to pay a huge price to get it. I have to be abused in the relationship to get to the laughgasm because of the way he is. But the laughgasm is one thing. Like I've always said, we share the history stuff. We're both interested in the history stuff, the Anunnaki stuff, the alien stuff. He's not afraid of those topics. He embraces those and delves into those topics on his own, with or without me. So, that's another thing. He understands the whole Anunnaki genetics thing and the history and the story, even though it's not about agreeing on stuff, just the fact that he's questioning those things. So that's important. And, several things. He understands theater people. I'm a theater person, so he understands thespians, and he will even use that word. And not everybody does that, and that's a word that I use sometimes. And so that's one of those unique things that you share. What was the other thing? Well, there's a lot of things. Him making me laugh is huge. It's too bad I have to pay this price of being abused, because then it's like up and then down again, up and then this. You can't. It's like it equals out because you can't have one without the other. But the laughgasms are great if you can get them. It's. I mean, there's always a price to pay, right? Anyway, so that's part's fun, and he can genuinely appreciate special, beautiful things about other people, including me. And simple things bring him joy, like the way American families do birthday parties and things like that. I don't know. He'll appreciate things in a sort of a more worldview, like my brother Bobby did. And he sees things from a broader perspective when he's not being crazy or insane. He can be very intelligent. He's against child trafficking, and he's not afraid to say so. I really appreciate that about him. I don't believe at all that he is into children in a harmful way like that. I don't believe the slander that one person does who files cease and desist and sends cops to your door and tries to initiate lawsuits. I don't agree with her slander about him, and I will defend him on that. Even if he's mean and horrible to me, I'm still going to defend that because I believe it's the truth, and it's a very, very horrible, horrible accusation that is wrong and false. It's horrible to do it. If you're doing it, it's bad, and you should be called out. But I do not believe he's doing it. If someone is doing it, they should be called out. But if you're not doing that, you should not be accused of it, falsely accused. So I'm 1,000% against that happening to him or anybody else, false accusations. And I'm also against the abuse of children. So that being said, and he's familiar to me, as I said, like my family. My family had that kind of bipolar, love-hate thing. He can be really, really nice. He can be very complimentary. He can be very thoughtful in a way that other people are not thoughtful. We share a sense of humor that is unique, and we understand certain people the same way from this YouTube life experience. He lives in South Africa, so he's safe. I'm not worried about him trying to meet me. I'm never going to South Africa. He's never coming here, even though I did dream that I went to South Africa. It's not going to happen. I'm never going to South Africa. And he knows that, and we're never going to meet. So he's safe. So that's another reason I can engage in this situationship, because it's not going to lead to anything real physically. It's real. He's a real person. He shows his face. I appreciate that. I like his voice. I like his deep voice. I like imitating it. It's not, I'm just explaining to myself and to the people that are involved in this crazy relationship, that situationship, that they don't understand why I go back to somebody who's treated me so badly. And I'm always saying, I don't go back to him. I don't go back to that. It's just that I change frequencies. And when I get to a new timeline, he happens to be there, treating me totally differently and acting totally differently. And all of a sudden he's a different version of himself. But I'm like, oh, so then I become open to seeing if he's a better version, a better version of himself. And usually he is. And then I'm like, wow, he's great. Where now we can get along. And then I'm like, should I let go of the bad stuff that happened on the previous timeline and just go with this new timeline? But then things can happen that bring you back. So it's a touchy, tricky situation. Even if I bounce timelines onto something new, there's things that can pull me back. Now, maybe even it's me that's doing it. I don't know, because it's hard to let go, when I just changed from a terrible timeline with him to be on a great new timeline. So then it's like, oh, we do have this great. It is possible. I can have a great time with this guy, but he pushes me away right before. I think it's almost, he senses if I'm going to get too attached. He doesn't want me to be too attached. He thinks I'm going to think too highly of myself, because that's how he thinks about himself. That's not the way I think. He doesn't really understand me the way he thinks he does. He understands some parts of me, though. He understands some things, but he also doesn't understand a lot. He's very judgmental. He sees things in a very negative light, but sometimes he sees things in a positive light. So he can do both. It's a mixed bag, but he's on my mind a lot, especially lately, all of a sudden, because of the dream, and then what's happened ever since the dream. At that time I had that dream, because I don't usually dream, and I definitely wasn't dreaming about him or anybody else that I knew, but I don't dream at all. And then all of a sudden I have a dream about him that's very real, and my sister was in it. And, it was like this whole thing. And I thought, oh my God, is that real on some timeline? And I think it probably is, but now I'm on this timeline. So what does that mean? Well, I'm just saying, I don't know if this situationship will ever fully end with him now on this timeline, because whatever, it just feels like that. But I get messages like, you have to get out of this because you're spending your time. Now, am I on a bad timeline where I'm going to be spending my time in an abusive relationship that's bad for me? Or is this going to be a better version of the situationship? So, when he wants to abuse me, he will. And he will be very, very mean and say horrible things. But when he wants to draw me back, he'll love bomb me and say all these wonderful, beautiful, special things. So he'll go back and forth. And that's how he just plays. He just plays everyone for what suits him in the moment. So it's kind of a scary situation. It's like being in one of those things, those intense relationships where you're very drawn to somebody who can't stop, and it's like a lot of times it's because of alcohol. But it isn't only because of alcohol. Some people are demon attached, and then they're going to accuse me of that. And I don't drink alcohol at all at this point, and I haven't had any for quite a while. So several years now. So I just don't. I'm almost allergic to it, and I do believe it brings the demons in. And I tend to be around people who have quit, or people who are on the wagon, or people who are just not drinkers. Because even when I moved to Maine, the town was completely dry, and all they did was come up with fun ways to entertain themselves without alcohol. So I couldn't even drink if I wanted to. It was interesting. Anyway, I just wanted to say those things. Thank you. Love you. Hope we can get along someday, Lionel. It's okay if you want to, if we can't. But I do appreciate the laugh gasms, okay? Love you.